sound.
It should be coming on. Well, hello. We're here on New Year's Eve day to go over what happened over the last year, or last 3 years, we should say. All of the great accomplishments that Donald Trump has done. So, and maybe celebrate a little bit in years. So, Doc Martin, we delayed the show a little bit. I know I said 10 a.m. Eastern, but we waited for Doc so that she could join us. Say hello, Doc.
Well, happy New Year, everybody. We're so glad to get to come celebrate some winning with y'all today. We thought we would just jazz it up just a little bit and try to go over what we could in the small amount of time that we've got with all the freaking winning we've done in the last year or two or three. It's mind-boggling, guys. I mean, I was trying to wrap my brain around it. I was having my coffee this morning. I was going, okay, now how can we pack it down so we can get it all in an hour? And there's no way. So I hope you've been keeping up because today we're going to do some celebrating. We've been doing some winning and we got to take stock while we can because 2020 is going to be the year of justice. I hear Karma. I think she is sharpening her nails and the fat lady is warming up. So I think 2020 is going to bring everything we've been working for, everything we've been waiting for, it's going to bring it to a head. I can't wait.
Yes, it's going to be great. But before we do, we did add the up at the top. You'll see that yellow bar. I did figure out how to put the lemons on there that you donate on DLive. And we got some other special things that are going to happen if you donate on DLive. So,
very cool.
Kind of a fun thing. I'm going to see if I can't make it do something. But Doc, do you have anything else to say while I try to look at this and see if
I was reading somebody, it says no jail reparations are a must. I'm sorry, reparations for what? To whom? I'm not getting paid anything. I don't think anybody else can get paid either. So Happy New Year to everybody. I'm sorry I can't type back y'all unless I sit there and henpeck because I accidentally dropped my or spilled some of my tea on my keyboard the other day. So it's either dead or it is in need of a little tender care. So I apologize if I don't get to talk back to y'all. I'm just going to have to talk to you. But I've been excited enough that I can just be excited for everybody. And yes, you know, I'm always good for fill in talk. So, guys, I sent Phil some great little videos, but we started a really awesome conversation on our show on Saturday night. We were talking about because Phil thought he was going to actually get me to come down to one thing, one favorite thing for the year. And tried as I mean, I just gave it all my thought. It's just like telling me to pick my favorite makeup or my favorite dress or something like that. And I just cannot do that. Or, you know, if you had more than one child, you know, they'd say pick your favorite child. Well, luckily I only have one, so she is my favorite. But all that to say, I could not ever just get myself down to one. So I was being kind of a smarty pants and found a really cool thread that had a lot listed. And I think we're going to go over some of that today. And we've got some great videos that encapsulates the year and all of the wonderful stuff going on. And then I hope that everybody will kind of start thinking about what they would most like to see for the year 2020. If you had your druthers, and I don't know if y'all know what that is, but I'll tell you in just a minute. But if you had your druthers, what would you want? What would be the best thing that you could think of happening in 2020? So we're gonna start. Y'all be thinking on that, and we will talk about it towards the end of the cast. Yes, Back in Black. I am a true Southerner, honey. I never go anywhere without my dot peach tea. So I'm bad about that. But all that to say, guys, I am thrilled to look back at the year, but I am absolutely over the moon for the new year because I think that that is when justice is going to start serving up our afternoon tea. And we're going to see a lot of things that we wanted as patriots come true. I am just sure of it. So, Yankee, have you got that figured out yet, or do we need to keep on? Because we got a lot of winning to cover.
Give me 1 second here. Almost. Oh, by the way, if you donate a ninja, here's what's going to happen.
Ooh, la la, a ninja, huh?
Here's a ninja game really if you donate. I'm really rich. Donald Trump dancing, and then we have a diamond.
Because you'd be in jail.
Ooh, I like that one.
And
thank you very much.
You get a thank you very much.
That one.
Yeah, we're having a little fun with the DLive system here. It's a little different. We're on XSplit too. We're off of OBS, so we're trying that, and everything seems to be working perfectly fine. So that's a good thing. You have to bear with us because
in our almost year of shows, we're going to be coming up on an anniversary in the new year too.
And you will have to bear with us a little bit. Oops, I keep hitting that button. Oh, we got RM John signed.
Thank you very much.
Or I don't know, Back in Black is a diamond.
They like to see the.
Thank you very much.
I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Wow. You like that thank you very much one.
I sure do. I like anything from my POTUS.
Yeah, Periscope looks good. I'm watching it right now. It's no freeze ups, nothing. So we'll see what happens Saturday night. Hopefully we don't have the same problem we had last Saturday. I don't think we will.
Saying they were jumping up and down on my last nerve.
I can't tell. I can't tell on my phone, Doc, because my phone with Periscope is always lousy. So.
Well, I watched it later, and it was okay, but you can tell they're picking on us. So we're just not going to let them stop us, though, because the last person that tried to shut me up, I just licked their hand. So I don't think these people are going to win the battle with O. Martin either. So,
I don't think
Frankie,
so.
we got a lot of winning, and I don't want to hear you say anything back to that remark. I set you up for that one, didn't I?
Yeah, that wasn't. Yeah, that was. Yeah, that was sneaky. Sneaky Pete. Now you know how Doc Martin is.
I am. Gotta be fast to keep up with me. You can't bark like a puppy if you're gonna run with big dogs now. Just saying.
Well, we're gonna get rolling here in 1 second. It's a new platform, so you got to give me a little bit of leeway here.
Pardon me, y'all. My allergies are killing me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I love hearing you. Aren't we having a rally pretty soon? Because I'm starting to have withdrawals from my favorite POTUS. I have no idea what I'm going to do after he serves his last year in office, whenever that'll be in the way distant future. Way distant future.
Okay, let's see. Let's get over to the list that you sent me,
and we'll have to have visitation rights after he goes out of office.
We'll start out with the first one. If I can find the a little different. The setup is a little different for me, but here we go. We'll start out with the first video you sent me. This is from Salt. Oh, say it out loud. @RealTT 2020.
Say it out loud. I love your work. You just rock, honey. We're gonna give you a lot of airtime.
I gotta tell you, Ryan Harris, what I just heard, there's gonna be a party all over the world. Oh, that was a good start.
Wasn't that great? Just fit you in the mood, didn't it?
And folks, I know Doc Martin is pixelating a little bit. That's because we're normally running during the nighttime hours, and all that sunlight is getting in through the green screen. Unfortunately,
it can't be to pick a new daytime scoping spot.
It can't be cloudy and gloomy like New York State, right?
If it's glittery, that's okay, because diamonds are a girl's best friend. Just saying.
Oh boy.
Hey, if y'all haven't already, share out, because we want to have a lot of people to party with. This is New Year's Eve, so we got to tell everybody to come in and celebrate the year with us. So if you haven't, share it. All right, come on. We got to We got to keep on pace, Yankee, because you're going to be cutting me off. I know. I can feel it already.
Okay, let's you see the D Live screen over there. Let me get up the list here. We did that one. Okay. Say it out loud again. You're watching a movie. How will it end? Wow, that was pretty cool. It takes a lot of effort to put those videos together too. Oh, you got another say it out loud there, Doc.
Huh?
You got another say it out loud video coming up here.
Okay. Do we want to go in between them? Do you want to just go video to video, or would you like to cover some of the wins that we didn't get to cover on Saturday night?
Almost everything you sent me was a video.
I know. That's what I'm saying. We might want to go through some of the points in between because, you know, in case you didn't notice, there was, hang on, let me get back to it. We had so much winning, guys. We've gone over it every week. We've got the lowest unemployment, excuse me. We've got the lowest unemployment for blacks. We've got the lowest unemployment for black youth. We've got the lowest unemployment for women. We've got the lowest unemployment for Latinos. We've got all these wins. And yet, on top of that, guys, the lowest wage earners amongst us are increasing their wages at the fastest rate in, I believe they said since they've been keeping up. And the ratio of unemployed people to job openings is less than 1 to 1. That means there are more jobs than we've got people to fill them. Compared to a decade ago, there was 6 people for every 1 job looking for a job. So that shows you the growth that we've had. Plus, you know, Donald Trump has just socked it away every which way. We brought back $1 trillion in funds. In case you didn't catch Saturday's show, we've had so much winning, y'all, that it is impossible to highlight all of it even in an hour. I mean, it's just so cool. When did you ever dream that we would be sitting here in this boat in your whole lifetime? Did you ever really, really think that it was going to be this wonderful in the rest of your life with the way we were headed? I didn't. I thought we were on the Titanic, and I thought she was taking on water fast, and we were all scrambling for the lifeboats. But I think that we had a huge, what do you call them, a life vest thrown to us as a country for Donald J. Trump. So I am so thrilled. What about you, Yang?
Plus that magic wand.
His magic wand is so big. And it is very sparkly. It is great.
Where did you finish on that list on Saturday?
Do what?
What line did you finish on Saturday with that list? Do you remember?
Well, like I would remember. I've slept since then. What are you thinking?
Oh, drug imports from Canada?
Look bad in front of everybody?
Drug imports from Canada? Did you get that far?
Maybe not.
Oh boy, you can't remember how far down you read?
Well, we can just pick a spot. Where was I? Have you got it up on the screen?
I've got it up on my screen. Let me pull it up on the other screen.
Okay, I gotta find my list again.
Okay, I got issued executive order requiring the secretaries of defense. How about that one?
That sounds good as any.
Okay, issued an executive order requiring the secretaries of defense, Homeland Security, and Veterans Affairs to submit a joint plan to provide veterans access to mental access. I think that was a mistake, but to mental health treatment as a transition to civilian life. Because of a bill,
the veterans don't need more medicine. They need help. They need dogs. They need therapy. There's so many different things that we can do for them and alternatives. Like, I mean, let's just whatever. I don't care if it's medicinal marijuana. If that would help them cope more than the opioid, I do not care. I think we need to be groundbreaking in the way that we address that, and I think they're starting to, and that is great. I mean, it's just right there. That's what we're needing.
Trump administration will provide HIV prevention drug free for 200,000 uninsured patients per year for 11 years. I'm skipping around a little bit. Trump signed an order allowing small businesses to group together when buying insurance so they can get it at a better price. Well, that's a good deal. That'll save small business.
An insurance broker, I'm just telling you, that is the way to go. That is one of the ways to really address some of our issues. But, you know, I think, POTUS, I think you're going to see in the new year, I've kind of got some ideas on where I think they're heading with the medical and with prescription drugs. And I think they are on the mark. So I'm real excited to see what they come out with in 2020. I think it'll be then. I'm going to adjust my camera just a little bit, guys. I'm sorry if I'm throwing myself off, but I can tell that my green screen is acting up. Sorry.
Lost half your head there, Doc.
I know. I'm sorry. I've got a halo.
Whoa.
The sun decided to come up right behind me. So I'm not really sure how to help myself here. Either have half a head or have a halo. Which would you prefer? I think everybody knows that a halo is probably not realistic with me. But I'm not entitled on myself.
This was huge. In 2018, President Trump signed the groundbreaking First Step Act, a criminal justice bill which enacted reforms that make our justice system fairer and help former inmates successfully return to society. So that was something.
That's a change that's really a huge change, because remember, those reforms were initially signed by Clinton with his super predator wife. And so it just shows you that we have a president now that is willing to give them a second chance, that sees that it was not written fairly and that it was too severe. So I just think it's great that they're looking at working on that.
Super predator wife, that has two meanings with her, right?
It sure does. You know what? Anytime you're mean to me, I just send you.
I don't know anything about the Clintons. I never even heard of the Clintons.
I'm going to tell Hillary you're testifying against her tomorrow.
Oh, boy. That woodpecker.
Scary,
I'm sending a woodpecker right to your house. Okay.
I remember we hadn't heard from Woody in a while.
The First Step Act expanded judicial discretion in sentencing of nonviolent crimes. The First Step Act provides rehabilitative programs to inmates, helping them successfully rejoin society and not return to crime. And maybe we'll stop there and play a video. How about
Which
that?
is not to be confused with New York letting all of their dangerous criminals out with no bail. Just making sure you understand that.
Yes. Yeah, we're just letting them out in New York. Oh, why not? They need to vote too.
I mean, come on. You do not want to hold them back. Or all those illegals that are going to be lined up with their new driver's license to vote.
That's right. Yeah, you should have seen the lines for that. Say it out loud again. Watch out, FISA brings down the House. And there we go, another one from Say It Out Loud. And back to the list.
Aren't they? I mean, I thought that was a really great synopsis for the year. A lot of their videos that they've come out with this year.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Okay, now we've got, back to the list, sorry.
I was going to say, chop, chop.
Let's see. New single-family home sales are up 31.6% in October 2019 compared to just 1 year ago. Wow, that's a pretty big increase in new home sales.
That is humongous. Because think about, number one, single homes are dwindling amongst millennials as a whole because they're not wanting. The trends are that they're not wanting the cost of a mortgage. So I think that is really good that they're showing some growth in that area because that really brings jobs. Think about how many markets that affects: truckers, construction, everything that goes with all of that. Plus, every time that somebody buys a house versus moving into the city into an apartment or something like that, means one less person is subject to the herd mentality in my books. So I think they want to stack us in cities where they can control us. So I say keep buying those single family dwellings.
That pisses off the UN too. That goes against the UN 2030 agenda.
Amen.
Where they're trying to ban single family homes. So
I know. Can you believe that?
Let's see. The poverty rate fell to a 17-year low of 11.8%, under the Trump administration as a result of a jobs-rich environment. So it's 1-to-1 now. One person unemployed, there's a job opening. So
actually, we're under that. We're the true statistic is it gives it a fine advantage to the jobs over the people. So we've actually got a few more jobs than we've got people. So that's a good situation. That's for the worker. That is the best position to be in, because that means you've got bargaining power. That means that wages have got to rise. They've got to compete to keep good employees and to attract viable candidates. So that is great for the American worker, and that's all happening because of Donald J. Trump. Just in case you're wondering, it wasn't due to Obama and his get used to the jobs because they're never coming back. And it's not going to be due to Biden telling, coal miners that he didn't care that they were going to do without jobs, that they're going to have new jobs as coders to do coding, to turn on the lights and things of that nature in a city. And I'm going, that's what you want to replace their jobs with?
Yeah, he's saying that
we've got better plans.
He wants to put energy executives in prison now. Just lock them up.
Well, I guess he forgot that was going to include his son, who's head of Burisma.
He wasn't head of Burisma, but he was.
He was employed by Burisma.
Yeah,
Did y'all see the bombshell come out this morning? Now, I've only read it one place, so it's not been corroborated. But apparently, the private investigation firm that is working on his paternity case has said that they've uncovered him in a money laundering scheme up to I think they found records. They said up to like 186 billion or million or some ungodly amount of money.
Well, so, I think Rudy's brought that up too. Rudy Giuliani's brought that up.
Mm-hmm.
He has said it was a money laundering scheme.
They never make a mistake. It's coming out slowly but surely. It's coming out. We're boiling frog.
Okay, President Trump signed a bill that creates 5 national monuments, expands several national parks, adds 1.3 million acres of wilderness, and permanently reauthorizes the Land and Water Conservation Fund.
But now remember, he's not environmentally friendly. He didn't care if we have clean water, clean air, or anything like that. He's just not robbing us blind through huge money laundering schemes, climate warming schemes, or global warming, or whatever they want to call it, whatever suits their fancy that day. He doesn't rob us by giving all that money to those untrackable initiatives,
NGOs,
that really launders it back to the rich people. See, we have a man for the people now.
You're talking about all the non-government organizations.
Yep, NGOs.
And Trump's not using the BLM just to go out with automatic weapons and seize land. Let's hope not, but so far I haven't heard anything.
No, I don't believe so. Don't believe you will.
Especially a bunch of, believe the federal government under Obama took over about 90% of Utah. Wonder why? Could be uranium. Nah, had nothing to do with that.
What would make you think that?
Trump's USDA committed more than $124 million to help rebuild rural water infrastructure. But he wants us to have dirty water. Bringing back all those factories and drilling, all he wants is dirty water.
I know. And you know what, Kimmy, you're exactly right. Trump did actually give land back.
Yes, in Utah, I believe it was.
It was federal overreach. Thank you for pointing that out, darling. We're so glad to have you. You come, Kimber. We're glad you came.
More than 7 million jobs created since election. More than 400,000 manufacturing jobs that were never coming back. You just have to, get the green jobs of the future. You can go work for Cylinder for 6 months until they go bankrupt.
That big magic wand of his. I love it.
Oh, well, I might as well tell you. Trump appointed 5 openly gay ambassadors, but he's homophobic and a racist.
That's like what they were saying yesterday about him being anti-Semitic, because he's only got a Jewish son-in-law, a daughter who has converted to Judaism, tons of friends. He grew up in New York. He moved the
Embassy.
embassy to Jerusalem. He's good friends with Netanyahu. Netanyahu has been good friends with Israel, but he doesn't like Jews. Don't worry about it. That was so funny. That's almost like comical. That's almost like when they get up and try to say that the economy's going to tank and recession's coming. Well, I'm still waiting on it, honey. And we've been waiting most of 2019. I don't even see it on site.
Yeah, where's that recession?
I never got my white privilege card either.
They were all in the media on the same page talking about a recession about 6 months ago, I think it was.
That's because they control the media. This man is doing all of this with the whole world against him, with all of the press against him, and he's still accomplished this. Think about next year when all of this starts coming out about the media, how corrupt they are, how in the tank for the Democrat Party they are. They're just a second arm for it. How it's fatal to give information out on the Democrat nefarious activities that you find out. It's real dicey being a Democrat whistleblower, isn't it, Seth Rich? His name was Seth Rich.
We talked about this the other night about, if you watched NBC News on Sunday morning, they had an entire panel about how people like us shouldn't be allowed to give any information on the internet. Everybody needs to get it from those people at NBC, MSNBC, CNN. They're the authority on the correct information.
Oh, no, they've been so right, haven't they?
Yep. I can't believe I was even listening to that. I like, are you kidding me? You mean the same people that can never admit they made a mistake, or when they do make a mistake, they put it on page 15 of the of a newspaper?
I know.
So, yeah, they were really pushing, and they were also trying to say that you need to buy newspapers again. That's where you need to get your information from, the corporate media, nobody else. What a joke. They are the enemy of the people.
Mm-hmm. That's true. And you know what? That has been one of the other things that I consider to be President Trump's, one of his great, lasting legacies that people don't talk about. The press will never be the same when he leaves office. They will never be able to. They will never be able to openly lie to the American people without a good portion of the American people being aware of their lies and know to not trust them. And I think that number is going to grow. I think 2020 is going to be the year of we are the news. So I'm very excited to even get to be a small part of that. We're just a little fish in a big ocean, but we're so glad that y'all are our guppies that are going along with us.
That's where I think you're wrong. I'm going to say you're wrong, Doc. 2020 is not going to be.
We're fighting words. You go ahead and tell me how.
I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to say 2020 is not going to be the year of independent media and we are the news. I think that started 2 years ago.
Well, no, I'll let you slide on that one. We did start then, but we're going to come to full blossom. How's that in 2020?
I think it's just about there now, because look at the ratings for CNN. I don't know how they're even on the air any longer. If they weren't in every airport, paying to be in every airport, nobody would watch them.
They pay airports to tune in, didn't you know?
Yeah.
But you know what? It's like President said, when he goes out of office, CNN and all those people are going to go out of business. I just don't even think that they will survive. I really don't. I think they're hanging on by a thread now. And if for anybody that might have missed it, Brian Stelter, our favorite little chubby cheeks, he fell to a new low in his viewership I think he only had, like they said, like around 85,000 viewers in a country that has how many millions? 350 million, 323 million people.
Yeah.
85,000 is a drop in the bucket. I mean, honestly, I know some of our media people could probably compete with that from their living rooms. So it couldn't happen to a more deserving little toad.
And I don't know why Periscope chat is not working again. I've got it initialized in Restream, but it's not showing up on the screen again. I don't know. It's got to be on their end. That has nothing to do with us. Restream's working fine.
We're sorry, guys. We're just on the winning team, and they want to pick on us all the time.
Yeah, Periscope's constantly doing it. DLive is great though. They even show the little memes, the little dancing Peppy there. That racist little frog.
Oh, yeah, I'm saying.
Oh, Doc, I got 2 of you up on screen. That's one too many of you.
Uh-oh.
Here we go. We're going to play a say it out loud again. Future.
That would be overkill.
Future will prove past. Don't act like Q never told you.
Work it, make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster, stronger.
That don't kill me, can only make me stronger. I need you to hurry up now, cause I can't wait much longer. I know I got to be right now, cause I can't get much stronger. Man, I've been waiting all night now, that's how long I've been on ya. I need you right now. Let's get lost tonight. You could be my black Kate Moss tonight. Play secretary on the boss tonight. And you don't give a what they all say, right? Awesome.
I was waiting for Doc Martin to put her ball cap on sideways and start doing the worm.
The Christian and Christian Dior. Damn, they don't make them like this anymore. I ask, cause I'm not sure. Do anybody make real anymore? Bow in the presence of greatness. Cause right now, that has forsaken us. You should be honored by my lateness. That I would even show up to this place. So go ahead, go nuts, go ape. Especially in my pastel on my page. Act like you can't tell who made this new gospel, homie. Take 6 and take this, haters. That don't kill me, can only make me stronger. I need you to hurry up now, cause I can't wait much longer. I know I got to be right now, cause I can't get much stronger. Man, I've been waiting all night now, that's how long I've been on ya. I need you right now. Me like right now. I don't know if God put me in your plans or not. I'm tripping, this drink got me saying a lot, but I know that God put you in front of me. It's 1,000 yous, it's only one of me. You know how long I've been on ya. Since Prince was on Apollonia, since OJ had isotoners. Don't act like I never told ya. Don't act like I told ya. You know how long I've been on ya. Since Prince was on Apollonia, since OJ had isotoners. Don't act like I never told ya. Never told ya. Never told ya. Never told ya.
Oh, that was good. Were you doing the worm there, Doc?
I don't know what you're talking about, the worm. We didn't ever do the worm in Texas. I'm sorry. I used to make them in mud pies.
You probably dance in Texas. You probably dance like a night crawler on a hot driveway.
I don't think so, honey. Pretty cool. I was the dancing queen. Remember ABBA? Dancing queen. I won't give up my day job.
ABBA.
But honey, I could boogie with the best of my day.
Did the guys wear zoot suits when they played?
Oh, har. You're very cute.
Okay, back to the winning. Trump's immigration and custom ICE. Oh, ban ICE. ICE Homeland Security investigations arrested 1,588 criminals associated with human traffic, but we want to ban them. Oh, yeah. The dipshit left. Yep, we want to ban ICE. Didn't want to ban ICE when Obama was president, though. Just now. United States law enforcement officers are collaborating with Mexican law enforcement officials to dismantle human trafficking networks operating across the U.S.-Mexico border. Wow. I think that's a great thing. All these children being used and abused. The left's against that. What? They don't like brown kids?
I don't think they're like anybody but themselves. And we had a new sentencing. They gave 65 years to a guy. I think may have sent it to you this morning. If I didn't, I meant to. He was somebody big I think within an administration that they caught grooming the girls, and making them work at the pizza shops. And they gave him 65 years because he turned down the plea agreement. So we got another one. I like that. Keep on getting those weirdos and those pedos. There ain't nothing good enough for them. Hang them up by their toenails.
Yes,
just saying.
I'm just checking on.
I just want to know when I can be your stowaway to Hawaii. Just asking for a friend.
I'm just checking on Periscope chat because I can't see it, so I got to go into Periscope. But I just wanted to check on Periscope because we are running on a new broadcasting platform, so you have to bear with me. It's a little different than OBS, which we've always used, but we're trying to get off of OBS now and try something different and see if it doesn't freeze. And we're not freezing, so that's a plus. Although Doc is sparkly, that's because we normally broadcast at night, and the sun is shining right through her green screen right now.
I'm so sorry, guys. I forgot that the sun would be up and would be sparkling all around me.
You need blackout curtains.
My ethereal stardust. How's that?
And thank you for all the lemons, everybody. You can see it scrolling across the top. That's pretty cool. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
We're like lemonade, aren't we?
But I love the one that I love the one that I found for if somebody donates a what is it called? A Ninjaghini? No. Yeah, that's a Lamborghini, right?
Ninjaghini?
I think so.
I think I heard somebody saying something like that the other day.
Because Kimmy got all excited that somebody donated it in her name, right? Kimmy said, "Yeah, I like that."
Just mean.
Oh no, a Ninja is the one I like.
Oh.
You see that Trump with two Miss USA pageant girls walking out on stage?
Figures.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
so
you know what I like about President Trump? He appreciates a beautiful woman. And you'll never, well, except for unless you're talking to a lefty, and you probably wouldn't be saying it to them anyway, but I've never heard a woman on the right complain about being considered beautiful.
We even got one if you
don't have a problem with it.
We've got one if you follow us too on DLive.
We're going to build the wall.
Yay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Love my president.
I think it's
with y'all too, just because y'all love him.
Yes, we love
we're
y'all.
We're gonna re-elect him on my birthday next year. In case y'all are wondering, just in case you forgot, I'm hoping that he is going to realize that he needs Doc Martin up there to squeeze him till his eyeballs pop out of his head as I celebrate my birthday. Would that not be just the best thing in the whole wide world? I mean, come on, y'all.
I got
to
help
me make it happen.
I've got to reply to Fritzader. She said, what is it called, Phil? The OBS alternative? Yeah, it's called the OBS. No, it's actually XSplit, which the Mac Files runs on. And I'm not sure if anybody else is running on it, but it seems to be working great right now. So,
didn't Christy say she uses that one too?
Could be. It seems to be working great, but it's a little different than OBS. So I'm struggling a little bit, but it's the same premise, but a little different. But we'll figure it out.
Well, Pilot Mike, when you get to Hawaii, you just tell that James that I'll be coming out there shortly to squeeze him too. And y'all need to be sure, if you have never done it, y'all need to be sure and do the Mules of Molokai while you're there. It is the most exhilarating thing you will ever do. You will look death in the eye and defy it. You may be cursing me the whole time you're doing it, but it'll be fun.
The only place I want to go to in Hawaii is the place that the Brady kids were trapped in the cave with Vincent Price. Yeah, that's where I'm heading. I'm going to see if Vincent Price is there.
I've forgotten that one.
Yeah, remember that? The big tarantula was crawling on.
No,
Yeah.
I forgot that one. I don't do tarantulas. I don't even try. I try not to even think about spiders because it gives me nightmares. We, in our old house, I called out to my husband one day because there was a huge spider in our kitchen. And so he came in there with the broom and hit it to kill it. And y'all, I have never seen anything like it. It turned from a huge spider into a million little baby spiders running everywhere. I'm squealing like a stuck pig. David's even sick and bad. He's like, I mean, we were freaking out. You have never seen an old lady move so fast in all your life. I was on top of my table squealing like a stuck pig faster than you could say jack squat. I have never seen anything like it. Millions everywhere. Apparently the babies hang on to the adults, and if you kill the adult, they just like, so it gives me nightmares. I don't even talk about them. And then of course we did have the famous snake mishap this last year in 2019. No, that was 2018 actually. So I guess we don't have to talk about that today. We'll leave that for another day.
Thank you for following Yukon Camper and Tigris 2420. Did you hear the little, we're going to build the Great Wall? Oh,
We are.
you guys are awesome to be with us on New Year's Eve day, which a lot of people have to work today. This is one of the first days I've taken off all year. So
I know. I said, Yankee, are you working today? And he said, no. I went, well, I just nearly fell off my chair. You hadn't said that in a long time, darling.
no, and in case you didn't know, I work two jobs too. So Saturday, Sunday, my business is one job, and then I work at night to supplement my business. So,
well, and you know what? As an entrepreneur, that's what you have to do sometimes. Because as an entrepreneur, if you don't work, you don't get paid. I'm an entrepreneur.
Yep.
You know, my sister and I have owned our own business for 21 years. And there will come a day where you'll be down to one job. We're going to pray that success comes and finds you.
well, it takes
So,
anywhere
in the
from
meantime,
3 to 5 years, right?
do what, Vic?
It takes anywhere from 3 to 5 years when you're.
It does. It does.
So.
And it doesn't matter what anybody says, and it doesn't matter, you know, how much, you know, we took a family vote when my sister and I opened our own business and told everybody what they'd be sacrificing for many years if we decide to open our own business. And we told them all the pros and cons and how we would need their support and what all they would have to do, what it would look like for them as, you know, members of our family. And they still agreed to do it. And they have been wonderful help to us all these years. So it's going to come. And we're going to be there to celebrate with you when it does. You see, co-hosts, unlike, you know, wives can divorce you, children can grow up and leave you, but co-hosts are forever. You didn't know you were signing on the dotted line, did you?
Yeah,
We're
well,
going to be 2024 and 2028. We're going to be out there shaking our American flags, trying to get y'all to vote for whoever POTUS lines this up for.
between the two jobs, this show, and we have a special needs son. It's a lot of work.
It is.
So I get roughly 6 hours of sleep at night. So hopefully that changes next year or so. We'll see.
I'm praying it. We're going to claim it.
Let's get back to. Oops, I got the wrong screen up there. We got two docs. That's a dangerous thing. Trump's
Fritzy,
department.
I don't think the daughter was pregnant. She already had them. They were riding her, which is the plot with most mothers. I can just say.
Trump's Department of Health and Human Services, Department of HHS, provided funding to support the National Human Trafficking Hotline to identify perpetrators and to give victims the help they need. That hotline identified 16,862 potential human trafficking cases and provided 14,419 referrals to services between October of 2017 and March of 2019. And if you ever go out to the internet and look at the chart, and of course the left is trying to say, well, those figures aren't right and blah blah blah, they're manufactured and this, that, and the other. Go look at the charts. I mean, it's just, Trump is off the charts, even compared to Bush and Obama combined. So I mean, you can't, and the left trying to say that that's not happening. You can't pick up a newspaper or listen to the radio or listen to your local news and not hear about someone being arrested. So it's happening all over the country. I mean, every day I listen to the radio, talk radio on the way, and you hear the news, local news jump in every half hour. I think it's every 15 minutes here. And you always hear of some human trafficking group in New York State alone, in our upstate, our central New York area, being arrested for human trafficking. So it's real. It's real. The media can't spin that, and that's why they don't talk about it.
And I like what Fritzy said. Go look at your 401k. I mean, we hit. I think I sent this to you. We hit another record on the Dow the other day, 9,000. So anybody that is trying to tell you that things are not looking up, they're not wanting to deal with facts. All you need to do is pull out your 401k and show them what it was versus what it was 2 or 3 years ago. Just unbelievable.
Trump has called on Congress to pass school choice legislation so that no child is trapped in a failing school because of his or her zip code. And of course, the Democrats are against that.
Being competitive, which is where we need to be. Because the schools need to be competing against each other. We need to send our kids. Competition always sharpens everything. So school choice, that needs to be one of our top selling points, because even if they don't agree with us politically, what parent doesn't want that for their child? What parent doesn't want to set their child up for success with the best education they can get them?
I have a few thoughts on that. The public schools would be better served to get rid of the teachers union and the civil service portion, because that involves all the maintenance people. And I know from experience, a lot of people sit on their duffs doing nothing, collecting checks, and do a half-ass job, and there's nothing you can do about it. Now, I'm not saying all the teachers are like that. There are good teachers, but there's been situations in my area where teachers have been fired and won their entire salary right up to retirement, even for being an alcoholic and drinking in school, and there's nothing you can do about it. They win in court because of the union and the union contract. So our kids would be better served, and actually education would probably be cheaper in the United States if we got rid of the unions first, then started working on the administrative, because there's a lot of administrative costs that are not going to the kids. It's going right to the administrative. So big changes need to happen in public education.
Because you know what? If we don't, everything is going to be for naught. We're going to still lose the war because we're letting them sit there and indoctrinate our youth. So my best advice to you is this. I was listening to Rush Limbaugh several months back, and he said, if you truly want to affect change, we have to start in our communities. And the most influential position that you can seek isn't on the city council, it's on the education board. So if you're wanting to start, I encourage you to look at the education board, joining the education board. That is where you can make the most change, and it will help you get exposure that will grow your opportunities in the future very quickly.
if you can stomach fighting with the union. That's the biggest problem for education boards. They don't want to fight with the union, so they give everything the union wants, or almost everything they want. And what they do is turn around, raise your taxes. And for those that say we need to throw more money at it, the United States spends right near the top, maybe number 1, number 2 per student, and we're 40th in math. We're at the bottom of the world in math, 40th in math. I know that. 43rd in science. I mean, come on. Are we getting our money's worth? When are people going to say, you're charging me a ton in school taxes, but look at those numbers. They're horrific. Anybody in corporate America or any private sector job would have been fired for those numbers.
And we have to realize our kids aren't going to be competing against their neighbors. They're not going to be competing. They're going to be competing with people across the world that are connected on the internet. So when we sit there and say our kids are 40th or 37th or anything other than in the top 2 or 3 in the world, we're already condemning them to a less bright future. Because do you really think America is going to stay great if we do not educate our kids and prepare them for the workforce of tomorrow? No.
The other thing is,
we've got to get on this, guys. This has got to be, and I do think that this is going to be a very strong point for POTUS in the new year. I really do.
The other thing is, Doc, I 100% agree with Trump that not everybody is college material.
Amen.
They're not. There's nothing wrong with being a carpenter or a refrigeration repair person, or there's nothing wrong with that. Why is everybody saying you have to go to college, spend $100,000, and then maybe not get a job in Asian historical studies? I mean, really?
They want you to graduate from college owing $120,000 with a degree in underwater basket weaving that you can't make a living at, so that you are forced to work underneath your education.
Thank you very much.
And you will be, poverty stricken and more amenable to whatever they suggest. Instead, people need to be empowered, because owning a business, being a plumber, owning a plumber's business, owning an electrical company, electrical contractors, you can make very nice livings, guys. And you're not herded into the same mentality. You're not saddled with a lot of debt from college, and you're not being blue-pilled by these left-wing libnut professors that all they do is get up there and push their narrative on you while you're trying to get an education. So I agree. Mike Rowe, I think isn't it Mike Rhodes in his name?
Mike Rowe, yeah.
Rowe, that's it. I knew that didn't sound right. Rowe, love him. I worked in my prior life to insurance. I worked for a dropout prevention program. I worked for them for 15 years. And guys, I'm telling you, the majority of kids are not really cut out for college. And that's quite all right. Because we, like you said, we need plumbers, we need electricians, we need bus drivers, we need cafeteria workers, we need all these people, we need hairdressers, all these people that can own their own business or that don't can work for somebody else and make a very good living and not incur the expense of college.
Right. And you don't have to be an electrician and have your own business. You can work for some of these companies. Yes. Electricians make a pretty good wage in this area.
Oh, let me tell you something. We got hit by lightning a couple of years ago, and we didn't realize it had taken out our grounding on our house. And so every storm that came through was sending 220 volts to everything we had, and it fried everything. And we had to put in 2 new air conditioners. And y'all, I'm telling you, in the South, y'all always say, oh, you poor Northerners with your heating expenses. They never say, oh, those poor Southerners trying to afford air conditioning. And that always makes me kind of mad, not to point fingers at you, Phil, but just say it. But they feel sorry for y'all, but they don't feel sorry for us. But those 2 new air conditioners cost us to the tune of $16,000. That's a pretty penny. You just try to write a check for 16 grand tomorrow after lightning strikes you, or sweat to death if you don't have it. So it's what you're saying is extremely important, and it's right on the money. Just saying.
Let's get back to it. ISIS leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi was killed. Didn't hear the left, running around saying, "Oh yeah, great, he's awesome." And Trump didn't even act like Obama did when Obama basically said, the way he acted, Obama was like he shimmied down that rope and he killed Bin Laden with his bare hands. I mean, Trump, the first person he gave credit to were the great military men and women who made that operation possible. So,
yes. And then the dog.
He didn't run around and say, "I killed Bin Laden." Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
What a pompous ass. And we don't even know if he's dead because nobody ever saw the body.
No. And I don't, I'm sorry. I don't believe in this stuff of burying them at sea, and I don't believe in giving them a religious burial. When you're a terrorist, you forego any respect, anything we could ever do to make your life more comfortable, or even your death. I'm sorry, but I want them hung up for everybody to see. Now, I know that's not popular and it might make us a lot of enemies, but at some point, who cares? We already got them. What more can they do to us?
Did they care when Gaddafi was dragged around the streets and it was shown on every damn TV channel? Now, Gaddafi didn't do anything to us. Right? He did nothing. But every of those fake news channels out there aired that video. Don't you remember that video? Gaddafi being hauled out of that pipe and dragged around the city, and the media played it over and over, but we can't see Bin Laden's body. Wonder why.
Makes you wonder.
Finalized new trade agreement with South Korea. That new China deal, phase 1, is going to be signed on January 17th. That couldn't be done. Remember, we can't fight with China. Although you go to Walmart or any other store in this country and everything's made in China. Come on, we all know it. We need stuff made in America too. So Trump's taking care of that. Finally had the guts to do something about it. Unlike the Obama administration, because they couldn't do anything about it because Hunter Biden was making deals with China on his own after flying on Air Force 2 with his daddy. So anybody who votes for Joe Biden's a fool. You're voting for more corruption and in the words of Trump, bullshit. Made a deal with the European Union to increase U.S. energy exports to Europe. Withdrew the U.S. from job-killing TPP deal. PPP. It was PP. That's right. That was the new NAFTA. We were going to get crushed by that. Secured $250 billion in new trade and investment deals in China, and $12 billion in Vietnam. And you know what, Doc? Should we play a video again?
Sure.
Here we go. Wow, say it out loud. You're really giving this guy shout outs.
I'm sorry, he was so good. I kept finding such good stuff.
Trolling is fun. Panic is good. Nobody is safe. There will be justice. It's only a matter of time. Oh, no volume.
reminds you of what was his name? I met him. How could I forget? John Wayne. Doesn't it sound like it came from one of his movies?
That came from the A-Team.
Oh, it did? Well,
Yeah.
see, I was close. He was that.
Oh, I pity this fool.
What's his name? I forgot that man's name.
Who, Mr. T?
Yeah, that's right. Mr. Gotti.
George Peppard. And, I can't remember.
You
who the
remember
other guy
Mannix?
was. What's that?
Did you ever watch Mannix?
No, but George Peppard was in Breakfast at Tiffany's with who?
Audrey.
Yeah,
Your
Audrey
favorite.
Hepburn. Yeah.
She was beautiful.
Yeah, I always thought that you look like Audrey Hepburn and Kimmy looks like Donna Reed.
Ooh. Well, thank you. I'm gonna accept that on both of our behalves. We're not gonna argue with you.
Audrey's the one you want to take out to dinner and show off, and Donna's the one you want to marry. Sorry,
Cereal? Did you hear that? My husband that. Well, Jimmy, you got the Marion. I just get the Devlin. But you know what? That's okay as long as I get the jewelry. I'm okay with it.
Trump secured billions that will fund the building of a wall at the southern border, and that wall is going up. It is, despite what the media and the left says.
Yes, it is. In fact, they were talking about how much I think I'd sent you something later on. I don't know if we're going to have enough time to cover it all, but they were talking about how much the border crossings had gone down since we've been building the wall.
Yes, you mentioned that one town that last week or Saturday, that one town that saw their border crossings drop 90. Oh, thank you, RM Johns. Send us an ice cream.
Thomas was watching from it. I was like, oh, is he here?
Border crossing
That's gonna be
dropped 90%, right? Was it 90%?
It was something like that. It was like 90. I think it was like 90 and some change.
The Department of Justice and Bureau of Prisons launched a new Ready to Work initiative. Well, that's actually a good thing, to help connect employers with directly with former prisoners. That's the big thing. When they get out of prison, they have a very hard time finding a job. 8,764 communities across the country have been designated as opportunity zones. We have a lot of those in New York and Utica, New York. Here, we should be an opportunity zone. Cuomo has really jacked up this nano thing. Supposed to be January, another nano factory is supposed to be here, but I think most people are expecting it to flop again. And it's 800 jobs over 10 years, and it only cost us, $10 billion? Come on. What a joke. Been waiting 25 years for a nano factory out of the state of New York. What a joke.
That is unbelievable. Well, I know that I saw several other articles, I think it was week before last, about the successes that have come out of the opportunity zones. Guys, they are working. They're having mammoth effect, and it's really bringing in huge numbers of community partners, internships, all sorts of things. That was a fabulous, fabulous idea, and they're really working. We'll do more in-depth study into that in the new year, hopefully.
Yes, definitely. Let's get back to it here. Oh, let me put it back up on the screen. This one I like. Trump directed the education secretary to end Common Core. Oh, thank goodness.
Thank you, God.
Trump signed the 9/11 Victims Compensation Fund into law, finally. How many years did that take to get through? Unreal. We can't take care of the people, the first responders that went on to Ground Zero, risked their lives, ended up with cancer, very sick. I mean, come on. We can't even take care. But we're going to worry about Joe Biden and $1 billion going over to Ukraine. Really? You got $1 billion for Ukraine over some Russia crap that the Obama administration let happen to begin with. You know, oh, you're being naughty. You know, I mean, come on. You got $1 billion for Ukraine, but you can't. That $1 billion, to be honest with you, that was more than $1 billion. It was billions of dollars, and it ended up right back into NGOs and Hunter Biden's pocket and Joe Biden's pocket and John Kerry's kid and Nancy Pelosi's kid got a share of that. Come on. You know, we can't help our 9/11 first responders, but we can help, you know, enrich some politicians' families.
Well, you know, if you're a curator, he says follow the wives, follow the families. Yep. And you see why now. Because it isn't just their kids, it's their brothers, their sisters, their other people in the family they've utilized. They've used them. They have like drug mules, and they've saddled them up with money in both side saddles. And they're thinking we're not noticing that their horses or their mules about to break down from all the money that's hanging from the sides of them. They're like, need water and everything, but they're going, oh no, we didn't steal any money from the taxpayer. No, we're not money laundering, not us. Hire us again. Elect Joe Biden.
Next one is huge. Companies have brought back over $1 trillion from overseas because of the TCJA bill that Trump signed.
Yay!
It's not rocket science, folks. A mega corporation or any company, period, that's going to get taxed to death in the United States is going to put their money overseas. Duh! You know, it's not rocket science. If you're going to pay half the tax overseas, you're going to put your money there. Put your corporate headquarters there. Everybody was doing it during the Obama administration and the Bush administration, and Clinton. Come on, hello. It's not hard.
We're looking to bring it back now, so we're changing.
I mean, would you go to an auto shop that charges you $5,000 for an oil change, or go to an auto shop that charges $19.95? Duh, you know. It's the same concept. I mean, come on.
Seeks the lowest cost. Business always seeks the lowest cost.
They'd be stupid and fired if the CEO said, "Oh, we'll go to the United States and pay, you know, give them half of our profits," as opposed to going over to whatever country, India, and saying, "Okay, our corporation's here. We're going to pay 15%." It's not rocket science, people. Trump sees that.
He's a businessman. That's why I wanted a businessman. We wanted him to run years before he ever did, and that was the reason why we need to treat our country more like a business and let people decide for themselves on the state level everything that doesn't have to do with business.
Now we're up to the unemployment rate for different demographics, but I'm just going to flat out say unemployment rate for all Americans has reached a 50-plus year low. All Americans. Not just whites, not just black. I don't care about that, to be honest with you, or women, or men, or Hispanic. You're an American. All Americans are benefiting. 95% of U.S. manufacturers are optimistic about the future. The high manufacturing. It's not in solar panels, people. Solar panel companies, they're a long, long way from making that a viable manufacturing. Especially when China's selling solar panels for half the price.
Yeah, I'm just not thinking.
And solar panels that don't really work, you need about 4 billion of them to run the power for your home, right?
And there's so many variables to it, guys. They're so easily destroyed by hail or anything like that. They have to be replaced. Another thing they don't tell you is they have to be replaced very often. So you're making a huge initial investment and you're trying to make your money back. And by the time you even get close to breaking even, you will have already used up their life. So it's not a viable option at this point.
No, absolutely not. And you need to cover your entire yard and house with them to even
Yeah, Fritzy, she's saying, Phil, we're going to skip solar tech and go straight to Space Force, sun energy. And I will tell you this, Fritzy, I do believe that they are on the cusp, if they haven't already, in finding a new free source of energy. If you read Q, many of you have been around long enough to know the weird conversation I had with that lady on the way back from Vegas that time. I'm thinking that they are well on their way or have already found a renewable free source of energy. I just feel like it cusping. Might be going out on a limb announcing it this soon, but I think there's a lot of you with me. So we're excited to see what the future brings.
I'm not sure about Q, and I don't really read it all that often. I do read some of it, but Christy did a show, and God forgive me, I can't remember the name of the guy, but he was a big time Google guy who was a whistleblower because he got red pilled himself by digging into some information, and long story short is he believes that I think it was cold fusion is going to be the future, and that it's going to be so darn inexpensive, environmentally friendly. This guy had a lot of information on it. He's seemed to be brilliant. The way he spoke, I was like, wow, this guy is beyond me. He's like what's that show? Big Bang Theory, like a Sheldon kind of guy.
Like a Sheldon.
Yeah.
Well, see, and the lady that I met on the plane that time, she described it perfectly in line with that. She didn't call it that, but it was perfectly aligned. So, I'm anxious to see.
Here's one I like, Doc. Signed welfare reform requiring able-bodied adults who don't have children to work or look for work when they're on welfare. I don't know what brainiac in the Obama administration, I think it was that administration that got rid of that requirement, the work requirement.
They did get rid of it. I think it was them that got rid of the work requirement.
Under Trump, the FDA approved more affordable generic drugs than ever before in history.
Winning.
Let's go over to a video. We watched that one already. You sent me. Oh, I gotta give credit here. Salty, say it out loud. I want to say salty for some reason. Say it out loud again. Boy, Doc Martin is your biggest fan. You better send her some libations or something. Please come and take a drive with me. Okay, this should be interesting. Let's see what it is.
Oh, beautiful, our heroes proved in liberating strife. Who more than
I stopped that for a second because that looks like where I live. If you went up north from where I live, you'd be going up into the mountains in the Adirondacks, but it looks a lot like that.
well, country love and mercy more.
And the road looks shitty like it does in New York State, so it could be.
America, America, may God thy gold refine. America, sweet America, God done shed his
I don't know about you folks, but I'm nervous he's going to drive right off the cliff watching this.
grace on thee. He gave me crown like good. Yes, he did. Everybody.
Is your foot reaching for the brake pedal too?
No, I'm singing it quiet.
From sea to see, my God, he done shed his face on thee. You ought to love.
Oh, what happened? Oh, that was
I don't know
weird.
what. Did it quit?
No.
America, I love you, America. You see, my God, he done shed his face on thee. You ought to love him for it, because he crowned that good. He told me he would. Every brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. I thank you, Lord.
I love that song.
Whoop. Let's get back over to the list here. Okay.
Where going at?
We're up to page 8 of 11. We're kind of skipping around though.
Yeah, we might need to because we're going to be losing our audience pretty soon. We've been going almost an hour and 40 minutes already.
Secured. I have to be gone by 3, otherwise I'm going to be in big trouble. Secured $6 billion in new funding to fight the opioid epidemic. The U.S. is a net natural gas exporter for the first time since 1957. I got to go back to this one. U.S. oil production recently reached all-time high, so we are less dependent on oil from the Middle East. Now, if you're a leftist, what the hell is wrong with that? You want us out of the Middle East, right? But now you don't. So make up your damn minds.
Real or crack in America. They only want to do it in other countries where it's not seen, or they can still be supercilious in their attitudes towards other people, like we're not really still all dependent on oil. They just want it to be somewhere else. They just want to act pious and we're better than because we're not doing it here. Well, you're still paying somebody somewhere to do it, so what difference does it make? It ought to be here where we get the benefits of it, and we have control over our country, and we're not at somebody else's mercy.
That's
they
right.
don't care. They don't want us independent. They don't want us strong. They want us weak. They want us kowtowed. They want us dependent on other people. They want, because then we'll be one world government, and they'll have all the money and the power, and the sheeple will still be without. So pick wisely when you go to vote next time, guys, and be sure to use paper ballot.
And I'll post this list out on Twitter. It's
the great list. I think Robbie
yes.
Starbuck did it, didn't he?
Robbie Starbuck, yes. But I'll put the PDF in our Telegram room. If you want to join that, you can reach out to Doc or I or Winning TV on Twitter, and we'll get you in the Telegram room. I'll put it in there too.
We'd love to have you. We have so much fun, guys. So if there's anybody that wants to join, be sure and let us know.
In 2019, President Trump signed into law 2 funding packages providing nearly $19 million in new funding for lupus-specific research and education programs, as well as an additional $41.7 billion in funding for the National Institutes of Health, the most lupus funding ever.
And that's gotten to be such a huge thing, guys. That's really good news, because it really does affect a lot of people.
In 2019, President Donald Trump signed the Autism Collaboration, Accountability, Research, Education, and Support Act, CARES, into law, which allocates $1.8 billion in funding over the next 5 years to help people with autism spectrum disorder and to help their families.
I believe that was a favorite.
Yes. Oh, we're at the end of the list here, and that was Robbie Starbuck. So let's go out on a bunch of videos, right?
There's a really good one that's by the White House that I sent you.
A video?
Back up to some of this. Did you get in?
I got all of your videos. There's a lot of them now. Let me see. Say it out loud. Republicans. Oh, the White House. Okay, I found one.
Had some really good info in it.
I don't know if it's got info, but we'll find out. Oh, that's just a photo.
Oh, there should have been a video.
Well,
from the White House or Senate GOP. Excuse me.
Okay.
It was Senate GOP, I think, that did it.
So this one is from the White House at White House. Americans saw plenty of Washington at its worst this year, but despite getting no help from the far left, America today is soaring to new heights. 10 of President Donald Trump's biggest accomplishments of 2019, but there's no video there. You got to go to the, I think it's the other one you were talking about, the GOP. Let me see if I can find it. Senate Republicans. Democrats' gift to American workers, 3 years wasted obsessing over impeachment. Republicans' gift to American workers. See for yourself. Oh, it started over.
Wasn't that good? I thought that did good.
Let's go to, you got to say it out loud again. Ladies and gents, this is the moment we waited for. So tell me, do you want to go?
Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've waited for. You've been searching in the dark, your sweat soaking through the floor. And buried in your bones, there's an ache that you can't ignore. Taking your breath, stealing your mind, and all that was real is left behind. Don't fight it, it's coming for you, running at you. It's only this moment, don't care what can better. Your fever dream, can't you see, getting closer. Just surrender, cause you feel the feeling taking over. It's fire, it's freedom, it's flooding open. It's a picture in the pulpit and your blind devotion. There's something breaking at the brick of every wall, it's holding on that you know. So tell me, do you want to go? Where it's carrying on a colonize, where the runaways are running the night. Impossible comes true, it's taking over you. We light it up, we won't come down. And the sun can't stop us now. Watching it come true, it's taking over you. This is the greatest show.
What do you got up next? Say it out loud again. Fighting for truth, justice, and the American way. That was a good one.
It was good, wasn't it?
Let's see if I can find.
Plugged in.
Oh, this one's cool. Independence Day flowers.
Hoorah, brothers!
And the sad part is the left complained about that. Gotta be kidding me.
It would take somebody like that to do that, wouldn't it? Because that was the most beautiful sight to me. We owe our military everything, and it's awesome to see their might, especially on our Independence Day. And we're going to be breaking free again in 2020, aren't we?
We got one from the White House about the wall. It's not being built. Those are just actors.
What wall?
Yeah, what wall? Look at that.
Look at that.
Oh, he signed it. Another one from the White House. America's winning. Oh, it's just a photo of the DMZ where Trump crossed the DMZ. First president to do so.
In 2019, he did that. Isn't that fabulous? Y'all, think about how much winning we did this year. It's mind-boggling what all this man did. It's like he is the ever ready bunny. I mean, honestly, he just doesn't stop. But unfortunately, we're fixing to have to, because you're going to get in trouble if we don't finish on time, and we're getting close.
I'm going to do one more here. TPUSA. Benny Johnson watched 5,000 students from across America at TPUSA SAS 2019 hype for their president. Thank you, real Donald Trump, for speaking to the largest gathering of conservative students in American history.
It is an honor to know him. It is a privilege to be here tonight and to introduce him to you. Make him know how much you love him. The President of the United States, Donald Trump.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. What a group. What a group. What a group. But I'm thrilled to be here tonight with thousands of proud, patriotic young Americans at Turning Point USA Student Action You're the fearless young leaders and warriors who stare down the hatred of the radical left and bravely fight for our liberty, our values, and our God-given freedom. Each of you is a fighter on the front lines of defending our way of life, and I'm profoundly grateful to all of you. The whole country is. But the truth is, you're tougher, you're smarter, you're far more elite. Don't you love it when they say the elite? They're referring to the others, the elite. No, you're the elite. The elite. But I want to congratulate my friend Charlie Kirk for mobilizing students on more than 1,500 high school and college campuses all across the country. Amazing. With your help, we are making our nation safer and stronger and wealthier and prouder and greater than ever before. And as I look around at this big, beautiful, very full room of brilliant young people, you have our great future leaders in this room. And you are going to have an incredible life, but you're going to do very, very important things. And there can be nothing more important than protecting our great country. Thank you very much. It's been an honor. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Charlie.
And we're going to save some of these for Saturday night. So I, we got a new platform or a new broadcasting software. So everything worked fine. It looks like it worked well. So catch us Saturday night for Promises Kept and Speakeasy. Don't go out and drink and drive tonight. Be safe. Happy New Year to all of you. We love you all. I can't think of anything else to say. But let's stay together and keep fighting.
Yeah.
And we're glad to bring you this. We went how many weeks straight, Doc? 46 weeks straight?
46. That's right. We're going to be hitting our year mark in 2020.
Yes.
So be sure to be around and join us.
Yes, definitely. And thank you to my co-host. I know I razz her a lot on Speakeasy Show, but not on this show. But, we love Doc Martin. I love Doc Martin. I wouldn't do this without her. Thank you, Doc, for sticking with me through all the troubles, trials, and tribulations of trying to figure all this out.
Well, honey, thank you for having me. I wouldn't be anywhere else. And we're gonna ride high in 2020. So I love y'all too. Even you, Yankee, don't let go to your head though. And I can't think of other people that I would even want to contemplate, with in the future. We're gonna do this together, guys. We're in this for the long haul. We're Americans. We're up to the task. So I'm just excited to see what 2020 brings us. It's going to be a year of great joy and success. And I wish each and every one of you a happy new year, a safe, happy new year. Please be careful. Please be responsible. Don't drink or smoke and drive or whatever other libations that you choose to indulge in. Just be safe because we've got a lot of winning to do in 2020. And we're going to catch y'all on the flip side.
Yeah, drink at home and make more babies.
That's right. We need more conservatives.
Yes.
They're out making babies, so that really is not bad advice. So, and if you don't seal the deal, I have a lot of fun practicing.
Yes, definitely. Oh, good grief.
Bring in the new year is a whole new meaning.
Yes, and I don't let us know how you like the scroll at the top. That's something new.
It was
Want to let you
fun.
know about. And the just remember, if you give us a Ninjet, you get one of these. You get to see those nice looking ladies with Donald Trump. Thank you, everybody. We love you all. Thank you for
We
joining.
love you. Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year. Be safe, and I hope your families are safe, and we're gonna all have a great year coming up.
Yeah, from your lips to God's ear.
Yes, we will. Be positive. We gotta be positive. So much winning. You gotta be positive.
Amen.
Good night,
All
guys.
right.
Or good
Well,
afternoon.
how into 2020?
Yes.